it?
Would be implanted in your skull. So you basically take out a chunk of skull, put the Neuralink device in there. You'd insert the electrode threads very carefully into the brain. It can interface basically anywhere. So it could be something that helps cure, say, eyesight, returns your eyesight, even if you've lost your optic nerve type of thing.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Hearing.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us all this truth through well. I'm going to get into, there's these brain implants. The chip is here, all right, and soon it'll be implemented, and it's not something that's going to take, immediate action. As soon as you get the chip implant, your eyes are going to roll backwards, and the heavens are going to thunder. This is stuff that's going to be slowly normalized, until you work around people that have the chip and people that have the Neuralink, and that Neuralink is a brain chip, that links your body. And basically what happens with certain people whenever they're born, just to go into a little bit of, biology, whenever people are born, there's certain nerves, that you have in your body that have certain functions and tendons that do certain things, for the brain to fully interact with the body in order to do certain things, right? For instance, you have somebody like Jim Carrey, all right, which I believe is a Jake, but Jim Carrey has brain control to about 95% of his face, and those are a lot of muscles on your face. People don't realize it, but he can move his left eyebrow up or down. He can move his right eyebrow up and down at the same time or opposing, because his brain is able to connect to that. And that's basically what happens with a lot of people that are born with disabilities, is because they don't have the ability for their brain to function, and operate those parts, like people that are born with I forgot what that disease is called, but they start moving all crazy. They can't actually stay still, or people that are born with ADHD, certain things, that the brain has no function to, is what these scientists are saying Neuralink is here for, a type of salvation. You heard eyesight, they can improve your eyesight by fixing it. What your eyes do is whenever it receives an image, it flips it around, and it processes it through the brain. The brain brings it back out, and then it flips it back over and projects, all right, what it's receiving. And the focusing of the eyes as well. So what's being promised is, you take this thing, this chip, either in your hand or on your forehead, on your head, and what essentially is going to do is going to bring a lot of convenience to you. Okay, you're going to be able to open your car without keys. You're going to be able to start your car without keys. You're going to be able to get into your apartment without keys. You're going to be able to do simple things like clock in at your work job, and even more simpler things, pay, without swiping a credit card or carrying a carrying any cash with you, and this is the life that we're moving into, and those that are going to be deceived are going to look at the norm that's going on and say, what, this is normal. I don't see anything bad happening to these people. It's something that I can do. And those are people that are not fully rooted, people that are not fully convinced that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. So I wanted to start off with 1 Corinthians 10:6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. And that's the way of the world, man. The way of the world is to lust after evil things, more power, and what's even more evil, is witchcraft, which is what's that word? Being rebellious towards the Most High, which is likened unto witchcraft. Okay, so these people are very rebellious, lying children that will not hear the law of the Most High. Whenever you bring this out about, the things that are going on, the things that will be happening, sometimes people try to put that, that stigma on us that we're crazy, or that once it happens, and nothing happens, that everything's gonna be okay. But the Most High has it set up, whenever that time comes, all right, where the chip is fully implemented, okay, and it's the norm. A lot of people are gonna be confused why these men and why these people aren't getting smitten down by the Most High, and why these people are gonna continue better life, seemingly. And why it's gonna seem like, they're gonna be in this better position than us. And we're gonna be struggling. The ones that don't take the chip, we're gonna be struggling to get a job. We're gonna be struggling to keep a place. We're gonna be struggling with keeping money. Because there's gonna be a lot of people mugging people. There's gonna be a lot of easy targets when they don't have a chip. Society can basically push you out the window, man, and take you for what you have. And eventually a lot of people are gonna fold, and a lot of women are gonna fold, just because they try to, they're in their mindset, or in their fleshly minds, they're thinking they have to take care of their young. So we're not supposed to lust after these evil things, man. Money, power, fame. Our thing is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You see, our thing is this truth. So when we go after this truth, what's going to happen is the enlightenment that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to bring you, all right, which is not this enlightenment like they show you in movies. You're going to start floating, and brightness is just going to emit from your body. It's just going to be a safer state of mind. And like Isaiah says in chapter 33, in verse 5, Yahweh was exalted on high, for he dwelleth on high. And this truth is going to be the stability of these times. So we're going to know what's going to keep us stable. So it says, neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt Mashiach, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. And who's that destroyer? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. He's going to bring that destruction. So it says, murmur is the word gongizo or gonguzo, all right, which is to murmur, mutter, grumble, say anything against in a low tone. Whenever, for instance, you see it whenever the parent tells the child, you have to go do this, and murmuring, they'll say, I don't have to do that. I just want to do it because, I don't want to beat your ass or something. You always a talk back, basically what it is, a talk back, and it's in a tone of being adverse, So whenever we teach about this RFID stuff and about this, the mark of the beast, and we teach about, Esau, Edom, and who Esau, Edom is, you have 2/3 of Israel, then in their back of their minds, they're murmuring, and those are people that the Most High is not going to mess with, but these are clear indications of why they're bringing this chip.
Obviously, it could, in principle, fix almost anything that is wrong with the brain. Restore limb functionality, restores somebody who's a quadriplegic to full functionality. Like they can walk around.
You see? they're bringing forth a restoration, not through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is the right way. Okay, but they're trying to bring a restoration in their own likeness. Okay, because Esau's trying to sit in the throne of the Most High like he is a god. You know, I brought you, eyesight. You know, I brought you the ability to walk. You know, the ability to use this. You know, by bringing his tools, his witchcraft. You see, this is a deceitful man. You know, and this is just a quick hit, but it says 1 Corinthians 10 and 11. It says, now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. You see, we're supposed to look back at that witchcraft, which was disobedience to the Most High, man, and take that as an example, man. You know, things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. You know, there's also one in Proverbs that says, there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the ends thereof are death. And look what happened to King Saul. You know, King Saul had it in his mind that it was okay for him to burn incense to the Most High and burn, to go forth into war. You know, he thought it was okay. He was a Benjamite, and the Levite was supposed to be doing it, right? So whenever so like I forget his name, Samuel, whenever Samuel was coming back, so like he told him, what have you done? You know, because King Saul was rebellious. He was a very rebellious man, thinking that he could do no wrong. And that's what eventually ended up costing him his position. You know, the Most High moved him out of that position. Why? Because of his rebellion. You know, his lack of remorse for the things he did. You know, and what did King David have? He had plenty of remorse, plenty of sorrow. You know, his friends, his family, his people would turn against him. You know, and what did King David do? Always